Hey guys, in today's video we're going to be talking about a few different tips to help you save money for travel. So yeah, let's cue that intro.
Okay, so the first tip for tips to save money on travel would be finding out how much you make each month. Finding out that exact number can help you better plan your budget for how much you put aside for travel, for food, for rent, for your car payment. So once you find that out, you're able to funnel money into different savings accounts and you'll get a better idea. Each month though, it's gonna fluctuate. You're not gonna get the same number each month for your budget, but at least you'll have that average, or even if you have to round up or down, getting that number makes it a lot easier to make your budget for traveling.
Especially for me, doing video stuff, the amount I get paid for each work is different. The jobs that I actually do are always kind of different, so it fluctuates a lot. So having that kind of budget thing is a little harder to do, but definitely helpful. So once you have your budget figured out, then you want to start figuring out how you're going to actually budget that money, and doing the budgeting part of it, like where you're going to stick the money, what you're going to use it for, what you're going to spend it on, and how much you want to actually set aside for travel each month. So there's a few different ways you can do that. One thing we like to use is Capital. Do you want to explain?
Yeah, so Capital is a budgeting app. I think it's very hard to be proactive and get into the habit of budgeting. So if you're not very proactive and you haven't budgeted for a long time, Capital is a great app. You just download it. It creates a budget based off of all your spending habits. You'll link your bank and it will show you how much you're spending on alcohol or bars and gas or tuition. It'll show you how much you need for gas and how much you're spending on clothing and groceries. So then you can kind of limit that. So if you're like, I'm spending too much on food, like eating out, then you can write your budget to change that.
Yeah.
Make it less if you don't need to eat out that much. It's kind of nice. And also show you alert. So if it's showing that you're spending too much on going out to eat, then it will say, hey, you spent more money on going out to eat than you did on your car payment. So it kind of shows you how much you're prioritizing. So it keeps you on track so that you put enough money towards travel if that's what you are prioritizing for.
So now that you figured out your budget and how you're going to set that money aside, now it's time to figure out what your perfect trip is and how you're going to save money while you're doing that. So one thing is to plan ahead, figure out where it is you want to go, buy your flights in advance, because the closer you get, the more expensive they usually get. And instead of getting like a hotel or figuring out something that's like could be crappy or really nice and expensive, you could check out Airbnb, which finds different places in the area. You can look at specific things, photos from it, and figure out a price. And even that, you can book that way in advance as well to make sure you have it during the time wherever it is you're going to be. And besides that, you could take a look at Yelp to look at different places you want to eat or different things you want to do. And that just has like the ratings of like how much people like them from 1 to 5 stars, or the price range from 1 to 5, going from the cheapest to the most expensive.
Especially if you're like going on a trip, part of like going out and experiencing that is like obviously the food. So you want it to be good. You don't want to go to a crappy place. So I always say like it has to be like at least 3.5 stars in order for it to be enjoyable. Also back to the flights thing, it is cheaper to drive, but obviously if it's a crazy amount of driving, like a week, try to plan out your trip 6 months in advance, because flights usually are way cheaper. I know it's really hard, that's pretty far in advance to plan your trip, but we've been able to save around like $300 just purchasing our flights 6 months in advance. Yeah. You can always change them too, so usually if you use, is it Southwest?
Southwest is a pretty good.
Yeah, we usually fly Southwest, and if they find a better deal, they'll email you and you can switch it, so then they'll give you your money back. So we've also done that. We've gotten like $100 back because it dropped randomly, so that's really nice if you fly Southwest. Okay, so a recap for the whole video. It was kind of a lot of tips packed into one. So first of all, find your monthly number, how much you make in 1 month, your monthly income, so that it can be based off of your whole budget. And once you find that out, you can decide how much you want to spend on food, on gas, or if you're a student, tuition, and how much you want to put away into savings for your future trips. And then after that, if you do need aid and tools, because all part of it is being proactive, you can use Capital, you can find other apps, or even writing it down on your notebook or in your phone just staying proactive with your budget, and then also when you actually finally take the trip, how to find cheaper flights, cheaper restaurants, and also places to stay. So Airbnb, Yelp, those are all great ways so that you can actually make your trip enjoyable and you get the best bang for your buck.
All right, and today we were drinking our High Brews, which is a local Utah brand. We're not sponsored, but we love them. They
They're
taste
our
good.
favorite, yeah.
Yeah.
We drink them a lot.
So if you want to sponsor us, go for it. I'm not
I'm
gonna complain.
drinking Mexican vanilla.
I just have a creamy cappuccino.
Yeah, this one's my
So
favorite.
yeah, if you liked this video, you found these tips helpful, hit the like button, hit a subscribe, and leave a comment below if you guys have any of your own tips that might be helpful. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye.